Hello. Welcome to the Neal's Appeal on this evening. Happy New Year to everyone. I haven't seen y'all since last year. Um, we've been getting ready for the new year. Scheduling something happened. I don't know. We couldn't get on, and I forgot what happened, what was going on, but we didn't even come on in the month of December. But it's okay. We here for right now, January, and we ready to go. We got us a vibrant live couple, lovely couple that we gonna interview tonight. Fred gonna be coming in here late. Like what's that show? Five Heartbeats. He gonna be sliding in here late. But he'll be here nevertheless. We wanted to go ahead on and get started. We're gonna give y'all a chance to share, like, comment, and share. Get your people on. Tell them we live on Facebook and on YouTube. So, Genesis, if you want to share right quick, Mark, if you want to share right quick, y'all. How was y'all's day today? While we waiting for people to join us here, y'all had a pretty good day.
Busy day.
It was cold.
It was good. It's very cold in Jacksonville. We Floridians don't like that.
It's cold in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's been cold the past couple of days. Rain followed by chilly weather.
Wow.
But it's been a good day. It has been a good day.
I hate when it be cold in Florida. I hate that. Because I'm like, this ain't what I came here for. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That part.
So yeah, I am super duper excited to speak with y'all today, talk to y'all, have y'all to share. Y'all got an incredible story. And I like to interview different couples because you never know what people be going through in situations and problems, and you never know that you're not the only one out here, right? And you can help somebody. And so I've always loved not just to hear your story, but what's the transformational part in it? How can it help the next person? So I am super excited to hear from y'all on this evening. I feel Fred. I feel his presence. He coming around soon, but we're gonna go ahead on and get started. So I just want to welcome everybody. Welcome to the Neal's Appeal, marriage, relationships, and other stuff, where we're cultivating kingdom relationships, not our way, but the King's way, right? We know everybody's saying no kings these days, and but we all know that there is one king, don't we, Genesis? Don't we, Mark? We know it's one king that we don't mind calling king, right?
One.
And, we're here to remind you that he still reigns, he still restores, and still rules with love. We gladly honor and welcome this king to govern our lives, and that's none other but King Jesus. So listen, we want to speak with y'all tonight because tonight's couple, y'all know Genesis. Y'all been knowing Genesis for quite some time now, and she's a blessing. She's such a blessing to the church, and so we appreciate her and all that she does, all that she's doing. And tonight's episode, we had untitled it "Tested Early, Rooted Deep: A Second Chance Marriage Story." And we are certainly honored to have them share their journey with us. Mark and Genesis, I want to welcome y'all to the Neal's Appeal. And we normally start with the most likely to. So we want to start off with something light before we jump into the story. And so I got some questions. And how this goes, Mark, is I ask who's most likely to, and then y'all just point to each other like real quick. All right. Mark say we ain't talking about this part. Just point to.
I like a lot of points, so okay.
y'all are stylists too, correct?
Oh yeah.
Mark, you're a barb. You cut, right? Do you style
Yes,
hair?
my body.
Yeah. Cut two. All right. Yeah. And Genesis, you do natural hair. What is
Natural hair. Yeah, I cut that down, girl. We can't do a buffet or everything no more. I have like this. Let's minimize the stuff. So just a natural style. Times change. I don't want to be a buffet of all that. Not
okay,
anymore.
okay. So let's start off with some basics. Basics. I always like to know this. Who's most likely to be late?
Late.
I'm
Tell
late
who
because she late.
what you say, Mark?
I'm late because she late.
He always say we late because we archers.
So who is taking the longest to get dressed? Oh yeah, you Jen.
It could vary. It could
I
vary.
got a white shirt on. How much do that take to put a white
Uh-uh.
t-shirt on?
He could take a while to get dressed. He could take a while. He could take a while.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So who's most likely um to connect with the client emotionally before touching their hair? That's you, Genesis. That's you. You talking first. I'm running late. I can't get to my appointment because we don't talk. You ain't even did started on my head.
What I'm talking.
Who's most likely to um say trust me and be right?
Say it again.
Who's most likely to say trust me and be right?
Who knows?
I think I am. I'm like, babe, trust me. Now he may not admit it, but if I'm right or not, I don't know. But and I be admit it, but I'm like, trust me.
Who's most likely to notice if the other one's hair is just a little bit off or something? Who be seeing that stuff out of place? Who got that eye? Who got that eye? It's like they fixed that right there. Who's most likely to do that?
I think I'm more detailed, but
Now,
Yeah, maybe she is. Yeah.
you know what? I'm the detailed one with us. Fred
I
can't
think I
stand it. He'd be like, you too detailed. You too detailed. And I'd be like, but I see it. I gotta call it. I call it what I call what I see. I can't help it.
feel like calm down, relax.
So do y'all be like, who's most likely y'all walking down the street, you see the haircut is not blended well at all, Mark? Who's gonna say, dang that
That's me.
you got that eye and it's
Yeah,
bothering
Yeah.
you.
who's that Baba?
Yeah. Then I start on the car.
Yeah.
And so you probably the one that's most likely to say, oh, I could fix that. I know I could fix that. I know I could do that.
No, I don't put down other barbers. I just say, hey, here's my card if you need me.
I was about to say, do you hand them the card?
That's all.
That's good.
I'm not into putting other people down,
Yeah,
especially
that's
barbers.
right. That's right. Come in. Let me come in and check me out. That's what we say. We like to say, come check me out. Ain't that what we like to say?
I just tell them your barber busy, come see me. Sometimes you may go on vacation, so I say you can
Yep.
come see me when you go on vacation.
And they need that that we can't always be in a shop every time, all the time. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So let's go ahead on and get started. Y'all did great on the who's most likely to. Sometimes people don't even be knowing. They be finding out right here, like, no, that's you. So I always like to start off with that because it's such a nice playful touch to the story before we get started in. So here's Fred, everybody. Hey Fred, husband. You all right?
Hey y'all,
What's up?
you live?
Yep, we live. We live in full color. We get ready to get started. So we just finished playing the most likely to. So I was just about to say we about to take this deep dive into talking with Mark and Genesis. They have a wonderful couple story of recovery and resilience, right? So we want y'all to start. Mark, tell us, Genesis, whichever one y'all feel like, tell us how y'all met. Let's just start there with how y'all met and make sure Fred get in here good.
Well, the way how me and Mark met, I was actually getting ready to sing at a Caribbean festival here in Jacksonville that's held here yearly. It was my first time ever performing there, and we went to a meet and greet. I went to the meet and greet with LaShonda and Matthew.
Uh-huh.
And started there. Went there with them. Matthew stayed real close with me because I was like, Matthew, stay with me because I'm new in it. I'm new in this atmosphere. You know, I was like, I don't want nobody to come, make talk to me or something like that. I want to just be safe. So I'm going to the environment by myself. And so I walked away, and Mark was just sitting there, and it's oddly he just turned his phone to me. He just turned his phone. Couldn't really talk much because it was loud in there. But he just turned his phone, and something in me just gave him my phone number. It was just a quick exchange. It wasn't no hello, how you doing? Nothing like it was just I put my phone number in there, and that's not like me. But for some reason, I did that, and so I asked him. I said, how do you know I wasn't with Matthew? Because I was with Matthew walking around the entire night meeting people. So you that bold, He's like, I knew you weren't with him. So then it just went from there. I mean, he texted me, just text me. He saw me leave and said, get home safe. And that was just it from there. Um, you want to tell the rest?
You told it all. That was it.
Oh, okay. So that's how we met at a Caribbean festival. But it was just, odd because it was one of those moments where you would normally how you would meet people and how you would connect, giving somebody your number. They're like, hey, can I? It was just limited words, just more nonverbal. And I just like, okay, attractive. I just give you my number. I'll give you my number. I don't know, something in me was felt a safe place to give a number.
You got something going on over there, Genesis, with the volume or something. Something. Okay. It's got a little squeak to it or something.
Well, I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. How about when you talk, it start. Do you have another device open or something?
No.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what that could be, but it started squeaking when you.
Is it doing it now again?
No, it's all right now.
Okay.
Now we did all these tests. Ain't none of this happened.
Oh, wow.
That's what I be talking about. Anyway, so y'all tell us. So y'all dated for a little bit, and then y'all just got married.
Yeah, we dated for about a few months, and then we made official like September, and then March, you know, we was ready for marriage, like to be engaged in November. Talked to my parents. It wasn't like the all the big fancy engagement, like a proposal. It was just my mom and dad. He went to talk to my father, and we just was just my mom and dad, and we just talked about getting married. And from there, Mark set the date. He was like, "You believe in Valentine's?" I was like, "Every day is Valentine. Every day is Valentine." So he was like, "Okay, we're gonna get married on Valentine." I was like, "Okay." So he really did. I mean, I let him just kind of guide what we're gonna do. But I trusted him in that aspect, and there we are. There we were.
So tell us what y'all both were previously married. Tell us how. You jump in whenever you want, Mark. How did this second chance at love? Like some people be like, "Nah, I ain't doing that no more. I ain't going down that road again." What? How you knew? How did y'all know this was okay for each other? Y'all, you were for him, he was for you. Like to give it even a second chance, a second try.
Well, before I answer that, I tell people get in car accidents. They ain't gonna never get in the car again.
That's a good analogy.
Come on.
That's how I think about life. I mean, you got married, didn't work. Try again.
I love it. Mark a man, a few words, ain't he done, ain't he?
I can relate.
He done. He done said it. What's the next question?
Yeah.
Genesis, how about you? Because you were
Yeah.
you were single for how many years before you met?
Well, about 5 or 6 years. And so I was. at that time, I was, you know, just in my mindset of just sometimes when you go through things, you have to reintroduce yourself to yourself.
Mm.
So I was in that process of my life where becoming a single mom, you know, coming from that life of being a single mom, married single mom, and then becoming a single mom, and that was a transition for me. So my focus was my daughter at that time. So it was more of um, not just love for myself, but who also would love my daughter.
Mm.
Because when you have someone else, you're not just thinking of yourself. And a lot of times when you're dating and other people, and I did before being introduced to Mark, I tried to date and it was just chaotic because people want you, but they don't want all of you.
Mm.
And my daughter was a part of me. And so, well, what made me really realize that when I got with Mark, it's just something about Mark. Like you say, he'll man a few words. Mark is just real. It's like what you see is what you get. He's very direct. And with Mark, he made me feel safe. Even in conversation and listening, very attentive. Um, I think the first time we talked on the phone, we were on the phone and we were very detailed, very intentional in conversation. And with that being said, because he had a son, I had a daughter, so parenting was something that we look for. And I always say, because I had a daughter, if I was dating someone, I just it was just something to me with dating somebody who had a child as well. I feel like they could relate to that. So Mark made me feel safe, and so it was just very natural to just give a chance. Give a chance. And when he asked me about like getting married, it was easy to say yes. Easy to say.
That sound thing coming back. It's something. The longer you went to talking, it started like it's
Am I too
screeching.
close?
No, I
Am I?
don't think. I don't
No.
know. So try that. Try right there. Stay right there.
Okay.
Let's see.
So it just made it easy. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So it just made it easy with Mark when he asked. I was just yes was the answer to try love again because every moment we spent, every conversation, um, it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't like my time wasted, and neither he did. And I'm very open and honest. I like someone who's that same as that way. So I do believe if you're going to date somebody and you're going to bring somebody, especially at the age we are, maturity, we don't have time to play, especially
Right.
when you're in a relationship like, that has certain experiences. You're not coming in to waste time
Right.
and definitely bring somebody in your life, especially when you have a child that you're going to introduce them to that. Yeah, you can't waste that time because, again, you're not only thinking of yourself, you're thinking about that other person you're responsible for too.
Right. Right. So
Was
let
that
me.
better?
That's better. It didn't do it again this time. So let me ask you
Now,
this. So.
sorry, before we go, I want to add this. When I was deciding everything, I had to get the boxes checked. First box, parents. Got great parents. Me and the father got along. Me and the mother got along real well. And I never said this to her, but if she'd have had a son, we wouldn't be here right now.
Really.
No, I have a son. She have a son. It's really hard to raise other people's boys.
Mm.
It's very hard. Because I've been barbering for 19 years and I'll be cutting boys' hair. Young kids, they're not going to listen to you if you're not their father. Our kids got along really well. They got along real well. And that was another point. And I asked my son at the time, I think he was 6 or 7, and I asked him, did he like Miss Genesis and Layla? He said, yeah. And once he said that, I'm like, we cool.
Nice. How old is your son, Mark? And how old was when
Right
y'all
now, he's 14 now.
he
At
40?
the time,
Okay.
maybe 9, like she was going on 10. So she was like
He was
9
like 6.
and he was 6.
He was 6.
He had just turned 6.
Got you. All right. So let me ask you this. The title, was like tested early, right? So y'all were married a year and a couple of months, and you had a stroke, right? So 1 year into the marriage, and at the same time raising a 1 year old, trying to, right? And I'm gonna give you a series of questions here, and you could just answer how you feel. Can you take us back to that season? What did life feel like before everything shifted? What was going through your mind? What was the hardest part of recovery while still needing to show up as a mom? Were there moments you grieved the version of motherhood or marriage you thought you'd have in those early years? Let's talk about that. Pick out whatever angle you want to come from in.
Oh yeah. At that moment, when everything, and I'm honest, everything seemed to go just. You just have a moment where things go dark because you don't know, you really don't know how to think. And all those things about scriptures that we know and things that we're reminded of that, when you're going through things, God is there. Like, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. But at that moment when life did that hurricane in my life, the thing that when I was able to come to was, wow, you know, um, am I going to ever be me again? What is
Mm,
the new norm is going to look like? You know, we were just getting into our life. I mean, I said this to people. We're still dating too. We're married, but we're still dating. And I said, I just didn't know. Like I really felt like I was hopeless.
uh-oh, your sound doing that again.
I felt hopeless.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I felt hopeless. I didn't feel like I just didn't understand. I felt that why me? I felt like what's next? Because at that time I had a lot of things that were in the process of rolling. Trying to finish a project, trying to do other things. Uh, you know, enjoying time with my husband, baby who just turned 1, and I still trying to develop things. And my daughter was in middle school, and middle school, if you know middle school, they're in a very trying to identify who they are.
That sound happened again. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Let me get this. Let me see something. Is
I
that
don't know.
better?
So for some reason when you talk, I don't it's almost like jewelry or something clashing, or a ringing sound that starts. But
Yeah, I have nothing that's going on.
I know, but I don't see nothing, and wasn't nothing wrong. I don't know. But come on.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
roll,
So
go ahead, finish what you're saying.
when it does, just let me know. So with a middle schooler, she's going through her emotional roller coaster, and I couldn't be there for her. You know, um, and so at that moment, I knew I had to think about getting better for them. My thing was to fight through. For most part, I want to be there for my children and my husband. I knew I couldn't be, and I didn't want to feel like a burden to anybody. I did that was my one thing. I was in those times I was thinking about everybody else but myself, but I knew I couldn't be any good for anyone until I get myself better. So I was just adding more to myself. And it's not so much called a pity party, it's just that, when you're so used to navigating things in the home, because most time as mothers, we're cooking, we're cleaning, we're taking care of the kids, we're doing doctor appointments, we're doing all these to-dos that you don't know how much your family depend on you to do. And then when you're not able to do that, it seems like things just ricochet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, I did feel like, why me? I felt like, what is this going to be my forever? You know, not being able to walk, not being able to use, do things I would normally that I enjoyed. I wanted this to be my forever. That was my thing. Is this going to be my forever?
Right.
And that's what it was. Because I felt the days and the months keep going by. I thought, okay, maybe I'll be better within a month. Still there. I'll be better in still there. So it went all the way up until like almost 5 months, still there at Brooks. And then after that, still going through the intensive therapy where many times I wanted to give up. But, it was like I had to. I had things that the people that depended on me, for the most part. And I didn't want to give up,
Mm.
especially, um, Mark and family. And then you guys, it's the one thing about it, and I'm glad that I had the support system because that is so important. All the love and the care and the calls and those things, they matter because I realized while I was there, ministry was happening at the same time
Mm-hmm.
because there were people that was there, uh, who, I mean, people came in the lows, and from the nurses to even some of the patients, they was like, "What's going on? Who these people that's coming to see this young lady?" And for every nurse, you guys don't even know how you impact those women when they come and they hear, you guys song and other people come in and prayed and everything. They was like, and they was asking for prayers too. They was asking for this and other. And they was asking for prayers for even other people, other patients that they were taking care of. So at the further along, I thought that it came to me that it was a purpose. It was beyond me while I was there because there was a ministry that was happening too. There was a shift, not only for me, but for those at Brooks. But at that time, in the midst of that, I still was fighting with myself of feeling unworthy, feeling so unworthy because I lost many moments with my children, many programs, missing many things with Madison because those first younger months and years of an infant life is so important, and I missed that. And I was like, whoa, wow. Well, my mom had to help so much with raising him, and it left a lot on Mark, and I just felt like I wasn't, his partner.
Mm.
Um, he may say different, but all in all, I just felt so hopeless. I just felt like I was just, I really thought it would be my forever, really, to be honest, because I lost a lot of movement on my right side. And even I still have paralysis today, that people don't really see and know, but I really thought it was going to be my forever.
So, Mark, talk to me. What was it like watching your wife walk through recovery while still needing you as a husband, partner, and father? Right? Y'all are a year into this marriage, and that's usually when couples are still like figuring each other out, right? And so suddenly you're supporting your wife through this stroke while home parenting, y'all's newborn. I mean, he was about 1 at this time, right? So
Uh-uh.
what did that demand of you emotionally and spiritually? And you can answer whatever angle you want to come from out of all those questions.
It was a lot. It was a lot at one time, and it was a lot to handle. But like she said, the support system that she had, it was a great support system. What's so funny when they brought her in the room, I looked around the room. I said, "We need a bigger room. This room is too small." Because I knew how many people was going to come, but they didn't believe me. Then they started telling me, "You was right." I said, "This room is too small." But back to it, all went by so fast, and I forget a lot. But I tried to explain to her and this is for all the audiences listen. Sometimes you got to let some things go and let other people handle. Because you laying in the bed, I can handle this. My mom raised me to want a woman, not need a woman. Because I could do everything. I could sew with a needle and thread. She taught us everything. So I try to tell her in so many ways, don't worry. You get better. I could take care of this. And plus, we had her parents and had her family, had all of y'all support. So I understand if you worry. There's nothing to worry about. You got to worry about getting better, not about what's going on with Madison. We're going to raise Madison until you get better. We're going to keep everything in line until you get better. You just get better. Like Erica Badu say, I got to drop some of them bags. Carry too many bags. They're getting heavy.
But you understand why she was feeling that way. She can't even be home. She's in the
Yeah, no,
hospital.
I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. But you got to understand the other side. If you don't give the other person a chance to prove, how you gonna know?
Right. His Brooklyn.
You can't take everything. You can't fight every battle.
Yeah, but see, but that comes with, and see, this go back again to how relationships be.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead.
I keep telling people, much as they talk about God, Jesus in the Bible, now you backtracking now.
Yeah.
You believe this, but you don't believe this.
Right.
Your arms are too short to box with God.
That's right.
I always tell people that.
I was just about to ask you, so how did the stroke challenge your faith emotionally and practically? Look like you telling everybody, hey, ain't this the God we've been going to see every Sunday? What we doing? You know?
And I get back like saying that, but I'm gonna tell them how it is.
So, Mark, you still had some fear, little, right? You the unknown. You didn't know. Did you think she was going to be paralyzed? Walk me through if there was any fear, and did this season challenge your understanding of God's timing, especially since it came so early in your marriage? It's like, come on, Lord, what we doing?
Well, of course you had fear. I mean, I had fear in the background, but like I said, I mean, we're gonna pull through this. She's gonna pull through this because of her faith. Now, I got a little side. I had something to answer a question what you were saying, but I'm gonna get back to that when I remember what I was getting ready to say. But no, when it first happened, I mean, it seemed like it was a mild stroke because it wasn't really, like a disfigured of her face or nothing like that. Her face was still straight, it just was a little like swollen and things like that. So I kind of figured, okay, it looked like it's not that bad. But then when she couldn't walk, I'm like, okay, hold on, something going on. Like, what you mean she can't walk? And then that's like every day it took, like, okay, this is not what I thought it was. This is gonna be a challenge. But she went to rehab, took her to Brooks. Like she said, she one time she wanted me to take her home. Like, yo, I'll take you home. What you mean? So get me out of here, baby, go home. I'm looking like, nah, we can't do that. She just stayed, and then things got better.
Yeah.
So the side effects of the stroke that she had, you didn't see the I guess you can say normal. You didn't see the normal stuff, like the twitching of the face and whatever the case may be.
Right. It wasn't like that.
The fact that she couldn't walk through you way off, so you didn't really know.
Yeah, that's what really threw me way off. Like she couldn't walk. They had to retrain her to walk and also move her hands as well.
Right.
That's when I know. Wait a minute, it is serious.
Mm-hmm.
not like you figured in the beginning when it happened.
Right.
Because she looked normal when I came to the hospital. Her face was just swollen. They were talking to me. Me and her mom was in there talking to me, and we looking like, okay, we're gonna figure out what's going on. I just waited for the diagnosis to come back.
I think when the most part was just on the phone with while things were in the process of me calling him and like, hey, this is happening. Because I'm driving while having a stroke. And I'm calling him and he can't get to me. So we was at work.
Yeah.
So you were far away. So I know my mom, and that's some of these things I'm saying because my mom she said this to me because one thing about strokes, like when you have them, there's some memory loss, some things you memory, short-term memory, some things you don't remember. So I know when she said she came to me, I still was, I don't know how, well, God, it wasn't nobody but God. But when she came to me, my car was in a place where it really shouldn't be parked because anybody could have came to my car and robbed me. They could. They
wasn't in the
no,
hood.
no. What I'm saying is, it's not that it's the hood, but that convenience store where I was. That ain't where you want to be with your doors unlocked while you having a struggle. Right there on that street. So when she came, because my purse was there, everything, the door was unlocked. I didn't even lock the doors. I couldn't. I just parked the car. The car was just at an angle. She said it was, and when she came to me, you weren't there to see me, but she did say that I was like it was like the pressure was so high to I was to the point where my face, my body was swollen, and the disfigurement. But by the time you came to me, they did the stroke booster.
The TSA thing.
Yeah, they did the stroke boosters to kind of minimize, and they put me into a coma. They had to do that. So, like, what 2 days like that, I was like out. They had to put me in the coma because, how things were. So from then on, I don't remember all the other things that they were talking about. I just know from there when I woke up, I was in Memorial. I was in the hospital. Then just up, looking around. Didn't pretty much know what was going on from there on. I just knew that okay, I couldn't move. Like my right side was completely like I couldn't even feel, I couldn't even move, I couldn't do anything, which was scary to me.
So Genesis, you were in the car alone. You were driving, and this happened to you while you were behind the wheel.
Oh, on the way to work, I was driving. Yeah, I was driving. I was like, It's the crazy thing. I'm driving, and this is what I want to say because I know many people they feel like you have things going on with you, you have medical things going on with you, but a lot of times we like, oh, this job, this particular thing, they need me. I got to get here, I got to get there. Because sometimes we have our places of employment, but there's times we need to listen to our bodies. There are times we need to listen to certain things, and at that time I was just very stressed. Just a lot of things, deadlines. I'm in corporate America, so I got to be there. I got to be there, and I'm getting there, and I'm already stressed out between newness of everything, and then always trying to meet this quarter, and every time I meet this goal, it go higher and higher, and I'm making them more money, it's higher and higher. So my stress level was getting extreme, and my body was getting ready to shut down. And so I want to share that because a lot of times we try to make ourselves so available, and we don't listen to our bodies. We don't listen to other things as well. And then things get to a pivotal peak to we're no good for no one. We're no earthly good for no one, not even ourselves. So, that was one thing. And I was determined, and I'm steady driving. And Mark, like, what did you tell me to pull over? I think it was like,
stop. Go back home.
Yeah, go back home. And I was like, no, I'm almost there. I was so far from work. I was so far. I had like probably about 30 more minutes to go.
You heard that, right? See, she
I
telling
was
me
like,
clear.
I had a long way to go. I was like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm gonna get there. And mind you, I was still going through postpartum depression at the same time from having Madison. It's just one of those chemical things that I was going through. So I have all these elements going on. I'm going through postpartum depression. I got this going on. There'll be times where I drive to work and I will pull over to the side of the road and just have breakdowns, and nobody knew. I get to work and I have to put on my best thing ever, and management have no clue. And I'm getting there now, and I'm hearing all this stuff, and y'all just don't know. I just got through having a breakdown before coming into this office, you know. And I think at that point I had a doctor's appointment, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go on Thursday," and I didn't even make it to the doctor's appointment because the stroke was that Tuesday. So from then on, and since I had my stroke, I haven't even returned back to that place of employment. I haven't. I haven't even returned because it took a while for me to even get better to go back, you know. And so, I always share to everybody, like a lot of times we put our trust into so many things and people, especially our work. And we know we need places of employment, but a lot of times we ignore other signs, because if I would have left this earth, they would have found somebody to replace me,
Mm.
and my family would have been without me.
Mm.
So, there were so many things I said, I got to do that. I have this deadline. I have this going on. I had so many elements, and I just needed to just balance. But
Wow.
God sent me, I look back and then we say, but my faith in what I got from all this is that, having the stroke and going through that experience, it really made me look at life totally different. Among a lot of things in my life, it really made me orchestrate things a little better in my life, uh, from family, even faith, even just everything overall. God, I tell you all the time, I don't have to tell you I'm a Christian. My life going to show you. So when I explain who I am, I don't have too much to say I'm a Christian, because you're gonna know by my life. You're gonna know how I'm living, how I talk, and how I do things. You're gonna automatically know that. However, I felt like at that time I felt like I not only failed my family, but I failed God too in that time, because there were a lot of things that I recognized that I needed to get in alignment, in my life, and I needed to slow down. I need to slow down. And that's what go back to Mark was telling you that, because I was used to just taking on so much, and sometimes past will have you that way, when you have to be independent and you have to do a lot of things by force, not by choice, because life just make it that way. When you been in a broken state of mind and being broken with certain things that happen to you in your life, and now you walk in the newness of stuff, you kind of be guarded a little bit. So therefore you feel like you got to tackle everything. And I ain't gonna lie, I did. And that came all with it. So everything just kind of trickled down. And then, that was, I feel like when I look back and really reflect on everything, I feel like that was way of God allowing it to happen in my life to make me not only slow down, but look at some things. And now I have a new way of looking at life, period. Like a lot of things. I used to say, I have to. I got to do this. I have to. I got to be here. And now I'm like, I don't have to. It's okay for me to say no. It doesn't make me less of a Christian because I'm not here and there, there. It doesn't make me less of a person. It doesn't make me less of a mother. It don't make me less of a wife. I'm not doing anything contrary. It's just that how can you? I have to take care of my temple too, in order for me to be able to be available and be able to function
Mm-hmm.
well in everything, ministry. home. My first ministry is my family.
Mm.
I believe I have to serve God, but my first ministry is because I'm about to my husband.
Mm. So
So
I was just about to ask you, what did that do? Um, you know, for you, like how did you start doing life and seeing life? And so either one of you can answer this. What did this season reveal about your marriage that you didn't know before? Right? Because y'all were viewing each other in one way, and then Mark had to actually go into um, home care for you, right?
mhm.
What did this do? How did this what did this reveal to you, or that you didn't know before? I mean, nobody's thinking about this. It's like we get up there and we say those vows, and in sickness and in health, and then a year and not even 2 years in, and this happens to you. What anything revealed in y'all about that y'all didn't know?
Well, for me, when we were talking the other day, and she was telling you guys some of the things I had to do for her. Be honest, when she brought that up, I forgot about all that stuff.
Mm.
Mm,
I just did it. And like when she said that the other day, I was like, you know what? Now I remember. Because it was like, whatever. I forgot what I had to do. To be honest with you. It was just on the mode. That was the mode.
Mhm.
You have to be on that mode. So I'm like, wow, okay. And when I went to sleep that night, I'm like, you know what? I did, but I forgot.
right. You ain't keeping score.
No,
Right.
no, 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 no. Now we're gonna go back to a little because she was contemplating quitting that job, and I told her, if you want to leave that job, leave the job. I kept telling her, if you want to leave, leave, leave. She kept saying she want to leave, she want to leave, she want to leave, and that probably was God's way of making her leave.
Mm,
We talked about that too. Maybe that
mm,
happened because of that, because it was time for you to leave.
mm.
Because every day we should come home with what went on the job, and I told her, hey, it's okay for you to leave the job.
Mark, let me stay with you for a minute. So, what helped you stay connected, or Genesis, either one of y'all? What helped you stay connected when survival mode could easily have taken over? What did teamwork look like when there wasn't room for ideal, only necessary?
I didn't see it that way. To be honest with you, I didn't see it that way. I, it didn't even click to no survival mode to me. It was just like, you got to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And survival for me is, I tell people, the life I lived before I moved to Florida, it wasn't no bad life, but I was already in survival mode there coming up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now this looks familiar to me. This is nothing to me. This is a cakewalk.
Right.
That's why I forgot a lot of things. I don't even remember. I just did it because it needed to be done. There's no question. Well, can you? Will you? No, you got to get done. We
Absolutely.
had a lot of help from her parents helped out a whole lot. Her family helped out a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Well, well, I
I'm
was
never
in,
on survival mode. It's just, hey, do it.
I'm sorry, I was in survival mode. I was fighting for my life. Sorry, I was in and the reason why I was in survival mode because it's just that thing that thing of my, I knew you would be okay, but my children need me. I was like,
But
it
if
was
you,
that mama bear.
but if you don't get
Seriously.
better, how was it going? You got to get better
But
first.
the thing is, it's just something about mama. Like I knew you would be okay because you were, and there were times I did see Mark too. He may not share, but there were times I did see that to me, you got to know your spouse and that you can feel the energy where there were times where I felt like things were, the load was heavy for him too. Because there were times where there were times he did need breaks, because he was helping, help my mom was doing stuff with Madison. He would make sure Layla was getting to school every day, we're picking her up along with getting Mason to school and picking up, and he was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because there were times where we had to stay with my mom and dad. We got our own place. When you got your own place, you like to be in your own establishment. You feel comfortable there. And that's a lot for, I feel like, I didn't go to my mom's house and chill out, there with her. But for Mark, for any man, I want my space. So I don't mind being at your mama's house, because we got to be there because we had upstairs and downstairs. So it wasn't suitable for me to be there. But there are times where I understand now. Back then I was like, but I know that there are times where in that moment when things are shifted, you need to be in a space. And I had shared this too before that, sometimes when I look back, I was like, I was in my moment of, what about me? What about me? What about me? Like me. But then there was moments I had to look and be like, I'm not the only one going through this too. He has emotions and thoughts and things, and sometimes my baby don't share, and I know sometimes men they can keep stuff closed in because they want to fix it. No man want to look, no good man want to look at his family and see hurt or see things all like discombobulated. They want to fix it. But there are times that I did see that things were draining because it's a lot. It's a lot when we're supposed to be one, we're supposed to be in a partnership handling things. And even though you have help, but it's a lot going back and forth, doing things, and you're working, working the same amount of hours, same amount of time, things like that. And yet you still got to juggle a lot along with tending to me too, So for me, I was in survival mode because my thing was I got to fight from going through therapy, everything. I mean, it was times I really wanted to quit therapy because it was just too much. I mean, the pain, when you have elements of your body that won't move, that's like stiff, like that. I mean, the pain is unbearable. Like I can't even explain it. I had to have machines do it for me until my brain recognized that this is what we used to do. But even in that moment, even in survival mode, I had to force myself to do things, even with Madison, because I was determined. I didn't want my mom to be the only one holding my child. I wanted Madison to know what it was to feel me hold him. You know what I mean? And I couldn't. I wanted to even cook I was used to cooking and stuff. So there were times my mom would wheel me to the oven and I would try to cook things. I would have trouble sometimes, but I didn't want to feel hopeless. I wanted to, if this was going to be my norm or whatever it was going to be, either I was going to fight to adjust to this, or I was going to do whatever I need to do this because of this. I wanted my family to know that I'm capable of doing something, because your mind play tricks on you. Yes. When you going through certain things in your life, you see things in turmoil. Sometimes you have a fight with even in the mind. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, depression is real. Nobody don't want to be depressed, but it does come with sickness. It does come with life changes. It comes with all that. And when I have all those elements going on, you just be thinking of all kind of things. And and some things you don't share to people because sometimes people think you're crazy. Right. But at the same time, I was in survival mode. I knew all the things. I knew, like I said, I knew all, but I was in survival mode because I just didn't like where I was. There were times I would, sing and do videos because even now, certain times with my new norm, vocal capability, I don't never know when I'm going to have problems with because my right side is the restricted side. So I never know when muscle weakness will come. It will come just like that, and I have no control. So there were things that I just was wanted to do, and
So
you know,
let me.
sometimes I work out, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I still find myself in survival mode. Sometimes, just being honest.
Here's a full circle moment. The guy that I was with when I met her, me and him went together. His wife was a physical therapist. Crazy. And I didn't know she was a physical therapist until walked in there because I cut her kid's hair.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. So did you, Genesis? I asked Mark already. He said he already knew you was getting all your faculties back. What did you think? Did you think you were gonna come back around? Did you think you would ever walk again? Did you think you would ever sing again on stage like you're used to doing? What was going through your mind?
I,
Being
I I
in
knew that
hurting
I
and
knew that it would. I felt like I would, but it wouldn't be the same. And when I say this, that I knew that I would be able to walk again, talk again, sing it. I knew that I would, but I knew that it would take a lot of training, a lot of like. And I said again, I keep saying even now because I sometimes I have to constantly not think about things. I just have to let it be. I have to let things just be. Um, I just know that I had to get used to my new norm. My new norm. So I knew that I would sing again. I knew I would do this, but it would be how. I knew I would have to. Things would take certain time. Um, the one thing, you know, I did little videos and one did video with Madison, and I just kept motivating myself to do things so that way I would continue to feel motivated. But I knew it would come. When I saw things start to do a little shift, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. I think the one thing was when I was in the hospital, live came. You guys, okay, but live came too. And LaShonda, that girl there, she was like, "Oh, you gonna sing?" I sounded horrible. I sounded so horrible, but it was the point that it was something that just by her telling me to do it, and I just did it, and it didn't. At that time, I was like, "Ooh," but it ignites something in me, you know. And sometimes I tell people, you may not do something like you did before, but sometimes you need those people in your life who will speak life into you. And even though things may not appear to be what it used to sound like, what it used to look like, just the thought of you walking in it, just the thought of you having the faith enough to say it, speak it, do it, it ignites that courage to continue. And so that's what I did.
So let's stay on the music piece for a little bit because um Genesis, you still had old your previous married name attached to that was your brand, right? Gin Mac or what we called you. And so Mark, coming into that, how did you feel about I know she's since rebranded, and Genesis, you could touch on that when you grab the mic again. But Mark, how did you feel about Genesis still holding on to her previous marriage name? That was her stage name. That's what we know her as. That's what her brand was. What was that like for you?
It didn't matter to me. Like you said, it's a brand. Well, you can't change the brand. You're not gonna change Pepsi, Coke, Toyota, Honda. Not gonna do that. Got to keep it rolling. It didn't matter to me. She was doing this before she met me, and we're married. So I'm like, I'm not worried about that. And if you change too fast, you'll lose some steam. You know, you gotta keep the momentum. Actually, to me, it sounds better than my last name, so I'm cool with it.
Genesis, what's your take on that? Because you have since rebranded. So what made you go that route?
So like I at that time, um and I felt like there were so many things that was taking a shift in my life. I was Before I had my stroke, I was actually working on the project um that I'm going to be releasing this year. So, and everybody said, we're going to release, but I had to take a pause. I had to get things together, you know. So I said to myself, I had one of those moments where, life took a change, everything shifted. Um, so I just felt a new direction to change my name. It wasn't so much about being married to Mark. It was just one of those uh, Saul Paul moments I was telling you about, where I felt like that there was, a new newness happening in my life, and um, the old me, I just felt so different. I just felt so different. And when I released Happy, when I look back and I was like, before things get too far gone, because I saw this shift happening in my life. I was meeting new people, having more inspiration going on and things like that. It was just like I felt so motivated from this healing aspect. And I had many people say, don't change your name, because you change and this, not other, and people not gonna know who you are and like that. And I was like, I'm not gonna listen to that. And I'm glad I didn't, because when I decided to take that shift in the name change, there were so many great things that happened. So many great things that happened that confirmed that I made the right decision. So, and so I said going forward, and it's not going to change again. It's going to be just what it is. It's because some things I had Genesis McClendon, some things I had just Genesis on, and or Genesis and Live, things like that. So, but it was more of the shift that happened in my life, the healing, um, the way I look at things so different, not through different lenses. So I felt that within that moment, within that shift, there has to be a change. So that's where that came from.
So you would say your music has changed, the sound of the music and the message behind it now, with you looking at life from a different perspective. It has changed. We don't have a I surrender. We don't have that no more.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It is, and it's, and I'm gonna give a little secret. It is finished recorded. It's recorded and it's done. But however, it's not going to be released just yet. But that's the good thing. That's the good thing. So I surrender. And you know what? And let me tell you something. I finally recorded I surrender. And when I sing when I sing it, it's different. It's just so different. Each song, and even the lyrics that I had on some of the songs before, there's some of them are still the same, but even the lyrics have changed because life just has new meaning. And when I sing them in the studio, when I was in the studios recording them,
Mm-hmm.
it's just, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It is so, and sometimes you can't explain things with words, because sometimes there's not a word to explain. It's just the it just feel right. It just feel like God's hand is just all over it. I had to change engineers 3 times, but they're all close knit, working together. And each hand that it went has had a purpose. And I'm glad, when I look back, and I was so in a rush trying to do this project, but I'm so glad it was delayed and not denied, because it has so much more meaning, and it's going to be it's going to be something. So yeah. So you're going to get our surrender. It is because Yeah, I finished recording that. So, but yeah,
That's beautiful.
and when I recorded, it was like, yeah, it was yeah, it was mind blowing.
I just want to tell the chat we're about to wrap up. So if you wanted to say anything to Genesis, go ahead on and type it in the chat so I can read it to her. Whatever it is that you want to encourage Genesis and Mark with, go ahead on and get your thoughts together because we just got a couple more questions and we're going to wrap up. And so Genesis, I can relate to that music thing. All this time singing "Just Keep Still, Just Keep Still," and then when my mama died, it was a whole different feeling, meaning. It was like, yeah, I definitely can relate with that, and then all songs, all lyrics at that point, because like you said, it's a whole nother door that opens um, with those lyrics and what we've been. Life is different. It's different now. So on the other side of the lyrics, no, this what it really mean now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I get that. I get that.
yeah.
And so you recovering. Um, um, th- any fears in that? Like you said earlier, you know, you still have the issues with the right side. You even still go and perform today.
And
Now,
sometimes I'm in pain and nobody knows it.
uh,
Like
That's a problem because I always tell her, yo, you gotta stop that.
but it's something that I can't control. So when I say in pain, I know when I'm like, okay, in pain, where
No, she
and
don't.
it's not
No, she
good.
don't. Stop.
It's
You
not
don't.
good for me. It's
No.
not good for me to stand. But these are things that no matter what I do, it is what it is. It comes along with the residue
whether you're singing
of the
or
journey.
cooking or
Yeah. So it's like I have to keep moving. I have to keep, like I have little ones. Like I have we have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. Like,
We're talking about singing.
but I'm saying, like, with that being said, you have to. It's that goal. It's that goal. But But the thing is, when I'm up there, it's something about, and you can relate. You probably can relate. Even though you're experiencing certain things when you're up there, it just makes you feel better because you're not only ministering to the people, you're ministering to yourself. The songs, the lyrics, the word. Then after everything is done, then the feeling sometimes come again, or it's not as strong. But while I'm up there, like, I take self out the way. My stuff is out the way, and it doesn't feel that bad at that moment.
Here's a question I gotta ask. And I know,
But it comes with it. It comes with the residue
I know,
of the stroke and the element of the muscles and the joints and the neural system. It is what it is.
I know
can't
all
change it.
three of you guys are performers. You guys sing, right? Now, when you in concert or you're doing a show, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are in control of the show. Am I right or wrong when you're on stage? Am I right or wrong?
you right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You are in control. I
As
mean,
long
I'm
as
not a
you
performer,
raise
but
your clothes and you saying go ahead on and shut that last song down.
no, I'm not saying that.
What you saying?
Shut it down. But it's different ways of doing things because you are in control. When I see her perform, I'm looking, and it could be done a little differently because if you fatigue, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, you guys are performers, and all I know is y'all in control of your performance. If you're not feeling or you're not feeling right, you're gonna have to. I don't know. You can pivot. You can pivot, do
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Sing. You can sit down while you sing. They don't know that's you. You control
And
the
I've done
show.
that too. I've done that too. I've done
I
that
mean,
too.
they'll think
Yeah.
they'll think that's part of the show. Grab some water, take you a breather. They don't know that's part of the show. You made it part of the show.
But prime example though, there are times where some things there are moments where it can happen in the middle at any time. Prime example, this is one thing I'll never forget. You can be fine, and after three, four, like three, 2 songs later, bam, you know. But it's not so bad to the point where I say, you know what, I'm out of here. There's been times where even as singers, I think we all experience this with anything, even speakers, where you're in the moment, whatever, and you go off to a note and you be like, where that came from? Like, where did that come from? I did that at Brother Orpheus Church. We were singing a song, and out of the blue, God said, I never know when my vocal cord is going to have that moment where they have the muscle weakness. And it comes at any moment, and I have no control of it. Like, I have no control. It can come at any moment. But I can't stop singing. Like, all right, y'all, peace out. Everybody have a good night. I have to keep going. And it happened. And next thing you know, it recovered. And we went on like it never happened.
We're going to let her get into the next question. Before
he was telling me to shut it down.
Before we get to the next question, I mean, I go to the performances. If you see something like that, then you point to Matthew, and he can take over.
Oh, of course. Look, I would tell you many times. I said, "Here's somebody." Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, they know that.
Until you get your parents back.
They have done that. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
I'm getting what you're saying, Mark. You're saying, yes, you on program. You got 20 control. You got 20 minutes, but if you only can do 10, go ahead and do 10 because you don't know, Genesis. Your body is different now and has changed. You don't know what your limit is sometimes because you don't know if that's you feeling coming or what. So listening to that.
Everybody in live can perform.
Oh yeah.
But you can pass the mic. But she got the next question. She got to wrap it up. I know you take it too long.
No, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, Genesis, because your situation is different now. Mark, you funny. Your situation is different now, so you need your plan B. Because, like Mark said, the whole live can sing. So, honey, But yeah,
so they get used. Oh yeah, they be used.
That's why I ain't getting no voice because I perform 3 minutes and I'm sitting in the stands, sitting with the people while they singing.
We're gonna be mad. We're gonna be mad.
Huh?
We're gonna be mad at that 3 minutes.
No, but I'll be back. But I gotta get my rest. I'm coming back. I'm definitely gonna come back.
You crazy.
I don't know why you even open that up for him.
Y'all, it's time for that Neal's appeal. And my main question is, I keep going back to, God, Lee, y'all just got married, right? And so for the couple, what would you say to someone? First of all, I want y'all to talk about, pick whatever one you want to close out on, but what would you say to someone afraid to love again because of past hurt, right? As you both were previously married. I want either that question, or what would you say to a couple walking through an unexpected health crisis right now, whether it's early on or just right now? Give us what you would say to them to encourage them.
On which question you want to answer?
The love again or the crisis early on?
The love again?
Yeah. Come on, Mark, the love again.
I don't get it. And I really can't indulge in that conversation because what you gonna do? Stop living? You gotta live on. If you want to be by yourself, you be by yourself. If you want to love again, you gotta try it.
Gotta give it a chance.
You got a choice. Either you want it or you don't want it. Simple as that. I mean, like I said, what are we scared of? We are repetitive in other things.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But what are we scared of?
Right. Absolutely. Genesis, you want to touch on that a little bit for the other one?
Yeah, I didn't. For me, it was the thing was I wasn't gonna let what happened in my past defeat me
Mm-hmm.
to make me feel like that I'm not worthy of being loved, or that I can't give things a try, and for me, I knew, I feel like my mom and dad, they raised me um as not just a woman of God, but also I watched my mom and dad, they've been together for like for 53 years. So for me, I always wanted that. Like I always say, I wanted family, and I always had those values with me. So even though with my past relationship that didn't work out, I didn't let that define that I wasn't worthy of that. That I wasn't that that I wasn't good enough, or there was something wrong with me. So I knew I wanted to find love again, and for the most part, it like again I said, I came as a package deal. So my thing was that I wanted my daughter to have that, to see what what man and woman, like, look like, besides just having my mom and dad. But I want, you want to be able to show your kids and show your children that this is what family look like, this is what union look like, this and that other, because I did go through that phase where I felt like I felt her, but that's a whole other conversation, but at the same time, I just knew that I didn't want to give up on love, because yeah, that wasn't going to happen. I wanted companionship. I did. I want companionship, but I didn't want to continue giving somebody companionship without commitment. That wasn't gonna happen. You weren't gonna go to the grocery store and pick me off the shelf and not buy me.
Mm.
We ain't walking around the store with me and trying to figure out for years what we no, no, no.
Here's what happens.
Yeah, we're not doing that because I know my worth. I knew once I identified what my worth was. Yeah.
Here's what I say. Here's what I'm gonna say to the audience. Every marriage is not the same. We looking for that. Leave It to Beaver. You know that show, Marriage is like they happen, man. Every marriage is different. Every relationship is different. There is no standard. What you looking for, it's not there.
Mm.
Are we going back to the good old days? Anybody answer that question? No, we're not. The air ain't clean no more. We're not going back to the good old days. So you conduct your marriage the way you guys see fit. That picket fence marriage that we hear about, and we don't even know whether it's true or not, that ain't happening. So you just fit what you do for your marriage. Ups, downs, lefts, right? Because it's going to be there. And when it comes, you got to know how to tackle it. And without that, you're going to be in trouble. If you're looking for something, a lot of times you're not going to find it.
That's right.
But the crazy thing about it is, I really thought to myself like, girl, you crazy, to to say yes to him after just knowing each other for just a certain amount of months. But then when I look back at every experience that we have overcome, good, bad, ugly, because there were many, even in the process of healing and everything wasn't pretty. There were times where I didn't like Mars. I'm like, I don't like you. Like, what we doing there? But at the same time, and that's because when it's so many emotions that go through, you go through that even without the challenge, and you be like, I may not like Mark today, but I still love him. What you want to eat? Things like that. Or buy his favorite ice cream and everything. But I've learned in this experience that how much my husband do love me and all of me, even when I didn't feel lovable. That he has loved me through those vows where when things were ugly, when I'm like, ooh, ashamed and all that, and he still cared for me. And that let me know within that time where, with all that, and within a short amount of time and everything like that, and we're you know, that no matter what, he didn't walk away. Because sometimes when things like that happen, people walk away. They can walk away. They're like, I ain't done for this. And then also too, you know, you have to help along with making sure Layla get here, there, everywhere. That's a lot.
But here's an important piece. I don't want to forget this right here. This is an important piece. We had to live together after meeting for like what, a month or something, because of the hurricane. You didn't tell that part. Was it a month after? Because the hurricane came and flooded your condo, so we had to live together.
Yeah,
but how? No, that was like 2 months in, something like that. We had to live together because the hurricane flooded her condo. Yeah. So we had to
nowhere to go. Yeah,
I just met them and we had to move in together.
So Layla was like,
they came and we had to live in the same place because the hurricane had flooded her condo. So they came to my place and we had to live, just meet each other.
So I was like, okay, we took over your room.
Yeah, 1 bedroom.
Yes, on the couch. So
yeah, 1 bedroom.
He stayed on the couch, and Layla, you know, we was in his room, and so yeah, because I had nowhere to go.
I forgot about that part.
Right.
I had nowhere to go.
She didn't want to go.
Yeah, I was like, I don't stay with my mom. I don't want to stay with him, you know, because I wanted my own space, and I was like, okay, can we just stay here with you? Can we stay here with you? You know, he was like, you know, and I was like, I know, we know, like, oh, don't live together, you know, all that. I knew all that stuff like that, but I was like, hey, I just want my own space, because I didn't. I was like, I'm not going back to my parents' house. I don't want to be there. I just want to have my own private space. And
you're trying to explain. No need to explain.
No, I'm just saying I didn't want to be. Like, I could have went anywhere, but I didn't want to. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, everybody knew condo got flooded, got messed up really bad. It got messed up bad, and we just decided, well, when they stay here until we get fixed.
Right.
And that also, like, made us come closer faster.
Yeah. Yep.
Because, like I said, we was in survival mode from the beginning. I forgot about that part. I think it was like about 2 months. 2 months just met them. And that was it. I was like, I can come over here and stay.
The hurricane.
Because the hurricane had came. It was crazy, that crazy hurricane here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
So listen, we appreciate y'all tonight. Fred, you got any questions for Mark? You got to say, Mark, funny, ain't he? Look at him.
He's straight to the point, though.
I be trying to break the internet.
Always break the internet. Always.
Listen, y'all have been a joy on tonight. The Neal appeal, I just want to leave. It's just like, stay encouraged. Understand, this ain't no game. This covenant. You know what I'm saying? This is covenant, right? And it's hard work. And Mark, you stepping in like that, and doing that for Genesis, like y'all was saying, the cleaning up and all that. You just had to see it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's commendable, because like Genesis said earlier, some men, they'll run from that. They can't handle that. They don't want to see their wife down like that. And some of them, they can't fix it, and can't fix it means they kind of flee, right? So, not say I didn't say that, like, no, that wasn't fair, because when I had my surgery, he was there for me. You get to learn these men in another kind of way, like, you know what I'm saying? So
you feel a certain kind of way.
You feel it.
But you know, Genesis, I mean, pay attention to what Mark said in terms of getting your rest and things of that nature, because God, he did all his stuff all them 6 days, and what did he do on that 7th day? He rested. It's a day. He, you know, the Sabbath, you know, he made the Sabbath for men. He didn't. The Sabbath wasn't. You know what I'm saying? What's the term I'm looking for?
The
Sabbath was created for man, not man for Sabbath. Or am I saying it backwards?
Man was created
Man, no.
for the Sabbath.
You saying it right?
I don't know, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I get it.
But anyway,
But get your rest.
yeah, get your rest.
That's what we
Oh,
say.
yeah. And I'm learning, and I know that.
I'm gonna take me. I tell her all the time. I'm gonna take me a 30-second timeout. When the 2-minute warning hit, I'm gonna take me a rest. That's just me. I know my limits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. When I don't have my rest, it's like, whoa. I need to sit down. I need to woosah. And I try to tell her to woosah. And if she don't woosah, she ain't gonna want me to woosah.
That's right.
I tell people, you gotta be when your spouse. I look and see, because if you ain't doing it, then you ain't gonna want me to do it.
Right.
That's the problem for me. Like, nah, you need to take a rest because I'm gonna take a rest.
Right.
So,
That's good. That's good. So we got Kendra said you did what a real husband would do. That must be when y'all was talking about you weren't in survival mode. So y'all, I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I got to get somebody to come over. I wasn't live on Facebook, and that's where most of my viewers are. So people are going to have to go back and watch this.
Okay.
But we normally have way more viewers than this. But one person always there. That's going to be that Tracy Jefferson. And she says, "Thank you, Genesis and Mark, for sharing your story. God is awesome and can do anything. God's hand is on you. What a blessing. Great display of a great man and husband honoring your commitment." She giving you kudos, Mark. Telling you. So, y'all, we love y'all. We want to thank you so much for coming on and being so open and honest with telling your story. Like I said, sharing a story, just a story if it has no transformational. How did it help you? How did you grow? Right. So we appreciate y'all coming on and being open with us. Y'all, tonight's conversation reminds us that being tested early doesn't mean you're doomed, right? It might mean you're being rooted deeper than you realize. And so that's why we named this Tested Early, Rooted Deep, because you got to be rooted and grounded when you have a situation like that. Life uncertainty come up like that. Life and Mark didn't run. Mark stood there and he stood in his place and in his position, and he took care of his wife and his family. A year into the marriage, she in the hospital, he's home taking care of the family. And so, Mark, we commend you on that. And Genesis, we commend you for fighting, getting better. Like you said, rehab, that ain't no joke. They try and get you to lift, they pushing down, you got to lift. That ain't no joke. And we take things for granted so much. Just even right now, when y'all about to get up off that couch, you got to put your foot down and get your bearings. And we take stuff for granted.
I need to ask y'all a question before you go.
Come on, Mark.
What comes first, humanity or husband?
Humanity.
Husband.
Say husband. I was a human before I was a husband, right?
You was
Humanity.
Humanity.
Human before I was a husband.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's all about humanity.
Yeah.
You got to take care of each other.
That's deep.
About humanity.
That was good. Mark did that.
Humanity.
That was good. I like that. That's a
You can have it for free.
I can have it for free.
Sure. I'm good.
I like that. Humanity first.
Yeah.
I was a human before I was a wife. A human before I was a hairstylist. All that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the humanity is going to take over in you if you see someone need your help.
Right.
And of course, it just happened to be I'm her husband as well.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I love that. That's the Neal appeal for the night. Humanity. I love it. That's good, Mark.
Appreciate it. But you know, I'm good.
I can have it.
Yeah.
Y'all stay right there. Stay tuned. We're gonna do our closing. Great Neal Appeal podcast again, Fred and Kelly. Thank you, Tracy. We love you. We appreciate you. Y'all hold what you got right there. We're gonna do our closing. Y'all wave bye to the camera.